There were so many prophecies for me while I was growing up as a child that I was going to marry a pastor. A lot of pastors kept on prophesying that to me. You are going to marry a pastor. You are going to be the wife of a pastor. I kept on hearing that all my years growing up as a child. Why? Because my mom put me in the choir right from a very tender age. I was in the children choir, and not just in the children choir, I was also in the adult choir because I was doing so well singing in the children choir that my voice, my gift was not just enough to be in children choir. I was always in the adult choir of any church where we were, despite being in the children department. It was like that. Yes, anytime it's time for choir to minister, they will come and call me from the children church, and I will go and join the choir on my own uniform too. So you just see this small chicken girl in the midst of grown-ups singing. And I will be singing so well because most times always with a microphone. Either I was backing up, doing co-leading, or I was conducting right from a tender age. So every time a pastor comes to the church and sees this small girl singing in the midst of adults, out of curiosity, who is this? Why is she singing with adult choir? This, that. They will send for me and my parents, and then they will be praying for me and they will be prophesying. You will marry a pastor. Your husband will be a man of God. Your husband will be this. So it's not as if my parents were carrying me up and down looking for prophecies. This was how the prophecies were coming to meet me where I was in the church serving. It was so intimidating, it was so scary because I did not know anything about marriage. I don't know what it means to be a pastor's wife. But in my mind, I used to reject all those prophecies. I'd be like, God forbid, I'm not going to marry a pastor, I'm not going to be a pastor's wife. Because the way I used to see pastors those days and their wife, I felt they were suffering. Prophesying that I'll be a pastor means that I'm going to suffer. I didn't plan to come and suffer in this life. I'm not going to be rich and wealthy, I'm going to suffer. So I grew up with that mentality that I was going to be a pastor's wife. Apart from that, I didn't know what else I was going to be. I didn't know what God's plan for my life was, other than the fact that I had a good voice and I could sing very well. And when I'm ministering, people were being touched, people were being blessed. And I just felt that probably while I'm going to be a pastor's wife, I'll be the choir leader, be singing in the choir, I'll be the choir mistress. I'll be the choir mistress of my husband's church. It was not on the point when I went to school, yes, to the university. That was when I discovered purpose. While I was growing up, I didn't know anything about vision, about God's purpose for my life. All I knew was all the plans my parents had for me. They were doing all their plans and calculations. Even though I had natural gifting, and one of my giftings was to sing, to write songs, but my parents felt that singing is not what someone can use to make a livelihood when they are grown up, they have family responsibilities. So they decided to package me to school to go and read a very big course in their own mind that when I come out from school, I will be a hot cake. I will get employment with either the federal government or oil company or big telecommunication company, and I'll start receiving big salary and be making money. So against my will, against my passion, I went to read electronics and computer engineering, and I knew nothing about it. It was not God's plan for my life, and because it was not my passion, it was not my gift, I struggled in it, despite how intelligent I am. But why I thank God I went to that school was because if not for the fact I went to that particular school, I wouldn't have met my husband, and I also wouldn't have discovered my purpose because even though I was schooling, I was also in church serving God. I grew up in MFM. My parents are members of MFM, but when we went to school, Winners was very close to our lodge. In fact, Winners was sharing the fence of our lodge. So we'll be in our room and we'll be hearing all the service from the opening prayer to the end of the service, and we were enjoying it. We were like, what kind of church is this? This church is lively, the way they teach, they are preaching, the way they choir sing and all that. And that was how we ported from MFM at home to Winners in school. So when we go to school, we'll be attending Winners. But when we get to, we follow our parents and go to MFM. In fact, we were hiding it from our parents. They never knew that we were going to Winners in school, because if they found out that we're going to Winners, our school is over, we have graduated. So we were hiding it. While I was serving God in Winners, August of every year, they always have this program they organize for the youth called the Youth Alive Convention. And I was like, what is it about? Because the hype, the announcements, the preparation, all the youths, all the single in the church were preparing, they were saving money, everybody was clearing out their schedules just to attend that program. My friends in the church were encouraging me, I must come for this program, I must come for this program. And meanwhile, prior to that August, we had already gone for one in Easter. There was the Easter Youth Camp, the one they do within the states. I went for that one because it was within the states and it was not far from school, and I enjoyed it. We were like That one is just a little tip of what will happen in this August convention. The August one is nationwide, is worldwide. So that was how I followed them. Oh. Packed my bag and I went for the program. And my God, it was when I followed my friends and came to Lagos, to Land for the August Youth Alive Convention of that year. That program changed my life. That program changed my life. That was when I knew that I was in the wrong department. That was when I knew why I was struggling in my course. And that was when everything was now making sense to me. We were taught how to discover God's purpose for our life, how to work in God's purpose for our life, and we were even taught on relationship, how to build relationship, how to choose the right. In fact, we were taught a lot of things in that convention is all round for a youth, for a kingdom. So it is that time of the year, it is August again, where we have our Youth Alive convention. It is going to be starting on Tuesday, the 9th of August till Saturday. If you are a youth, you don't want to miss this program. They teach both career-wise, spiritual, relationship, health, finance, purpose, everything to make you a well-rounded, complete youth. You are complete as a single. You want to attend that program so that you receive the knowledge that you need to prepare for your marriage, that you need to prepare for your future, for your purpose. If you are still single and you're a Christian, discover God's purpose for your life, discover your vision, discover the plan of God for your life, whatever God has designed for you to be in life. That is what you should go for first before looking for marriage. Why do I say this? When you discover your purpose, when you discover God's plan for your life, this is when you'll be able to choose the right partner that will be able to follow you, help you fulfill your purpose in life, and help you build a successful kingdom marriage. If you don't know where you are going to and you go and pick anybody to marry, at the end of the day, you are going in this direction, your partner is going in this direction, you will be struggling in the marriage because you will be opposing one another, you will be fighting one another, there will be tension, there will be no peace, there will be no happiness because both of you are going in different direction. While your partner is doing this, you want him to do that. While you are doing this, your partner wants you to do this. Discover his purpose, discover his agenda, what he has created you for. When you know what God has created you for, my dear, this is when it will be very easy for you to choose the right person, the person who is going in that same direction as you are. It was when I went for that program that I discovered what purpose, what vision is all about, and that was how I started pursuing God to reveal to me what his plan, what his purpose was for my life. And my God, it was when I discovered God's purpose for my life that I was able to make the right decision for marriage. I had a lot of people that were on my neck for marriage. I was not just attractive, but because I had the fear of God, I was serving God. Anywhere I turned to, they were brothers in school, in church, at home, even in my village. Everywhere I appeared because I was singing everywhere. When we go to the village for Christmas, we have our Christian programs that my parents organize every Christmas in the village. And I always sing, I minister every day of the crusade. Everywhere I turned to, there were suitors. So I was actually confused who was going to be my husband. It was not until I discovered God's purpose, God's plan for my life, that I was able to start sifting and sifting and sifting all these proposals one after the other till the moment when it landed on my husband. And I have never regretted that choice because God, my husband is the best thing that has happened to me aside from my salvation. I wouldn't have chosen my husband if I had not discovered God's plan for my life because my husband was not my spec at all. If I tell you what my spec was then, everything I wanted in a husband, my husband was the least among them, starting with the fact that he's a Yoruba man, me I'm Igbo, and I'm the first child, the first daughter, the first child of my parents. I'm not supposed to marry outside my village, talking of marrying from another tribe. So based on my criteria, my husband would have been disqualified. And I thank God because of the fact I was able to discover God's plan for my life. I was able to sift out from all the numerous proposals, from all the numerous suitors I have, and I was able to pick the right candidate who was going to help me fulfill God's purpose for my life and who I'm going to partner with God in fulfilling God's purpose for his life. And this is where we are today. I am enjoying my marriage because I made the right choice. And what brings about making the right choice? You can only make the right choice for a marriage partner. You know what your purpose and your vision for life is. If you don't know what your purpose and your vision for life is, you will not be able to pick the suitable partner that is going in that direction of your vision or purpose, who is going to help you fulfill that purpose God has for you. You go and choose someone else who will come and be fighting God's purpose and God's plan for your life, and you don't want to be in that situation, my dear. You see, when you make the wrong choice in marriage, you are going to alter your life negatively, because you will not enjoy your marriage. That is why, as a kingdom single, you want to discover your purpose, God's plan for your life first, so that you can be able to choose the right person who is going in that same direction as you. The Bible says that where there is no vision, the people perish. When you don't have vision, when you don't know your vision, you go and end up perishing in marriage because of wrong choice, because of wrong decision. As a kingdom single, you don't know your vision. Keep marriage now one side. Keep marriage now one side. Pursue God and discover your vision. Go and ask God. Find out from God what He wants to do with your life, what He wants you to do with your life, what He has created you for. When you discover your vision, when you discover God's plan for your life, you start working in it, start working in fulfilling your purpose. Then the right person that is suitable for you in your purpose, in that vision God has designed for, you will meet that person. You will meet that person. When you see that person, you will know. You will know. Because me, as I am like this, I cannot tell you that God said to me, this is your husband. I've heard a lot of people share their own testimony of how they knew their husband, how God told them, then this is your husband, so and so person is your. God did not tell me so and so person is my husband, but through revelation, through knowledge, through insight, I was able to know the qualities to look for in the person who was going to be right husband for me, because of the purpose, the way I'm going to. So when men are coming around me, when suitors are coming around me, I'm checking for those qualities, those criteria that I need in that person who is going to help me fulfill God's purpose for my life. And when I don't find it in that person's life, then that person is just a friend. There's no need going into relationship with that person. I'm not dating the person. I'm not occupying myself. I'm waiting for the right person. You can easily choose the wrong partner. That is a very, very costly mistake you don't want to make. A lot of people who have made that mistake are regretting. A lot of Christians who have made that mistake are regretting in their marriages today, because of the person they married. They are not where they are supposed to be. Their life has been stifled. Their destiny has been halted. Their life has been altered. So don't rush into it. It's not what we are rushing into. It's not a competition. We are not rushing into this thing called marriage. If you want to have a good marriage, you want to take your time, make the right decisions, and make the right choice. We are not rushing into it. A lot of people who have rushed into it are regretting it. They are sending me messages, giving me calls, sending me WhatsApp messages. If it's not for the husband I married, if it's not for the wife I married, this is what I would have been doing now. This is where I would have been now. This is how my life would have been. But this my husband, but this my wife. And the husband, the wife they are complaining about is a Christian. Oh, he's going to church with them. Oh, he's serving in the church. Just that the person was not suitable for their purpose, for their destiny. At the end of the day, even though I was saying that I'm not going to marry a pastor, I was saying I was not going. At the end of the day, I married a pastor, because I discovered that marrying a pastor was God's plan, was God's design for me. But not just any pastor. A lot of pastors were on the list because of my vision, because of God's plan for my life. I was able to pick out the whole pastors that were proposing to me the perfect candidate that was going to help me be all God has called me to be. And here I am today. My husband is the one pushing me every day, encouraging him. He is helping me. He is partnering with God to make sure I fulfill all God has called me to be. Likewise, me too. I'm partnering with God to help my husband be all that God has called him to be. We are helping one another fulfill God's calling, God's purpose for our life. We are not fighting one another, not opposing one another. We are not competing one another. We are not standing against one another. We are supporting one. So that is what you are looking for. When you know where you are going to, you'll be able to choose the right candidate that will help you on that journey to where you are going to. This is very important. So I hope you can join us for our Youth Alive convention that is starting tomorrow. If you are not available to be there on ground physically, you can connect online that program and discover your purpose. Discover your purpose. Leave marriage first. I hope you have been blessed by today's teaching with my experience today. Please feel free to drop your comments, ask your questions in the comment section. I'll go through your comments and I'll answer your questions. And if you have your own experience, too, feel free to share it with us in the comment section. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if it's the first time on this channel, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, put on the notification bell so you're notified the next time I share a new experience. See you in the next video. Bye and God bless you.